Yo, what's going on? So let's get back to it. And today we are going to take a single file and we're going to run it through all of the top free LLM chats and see what comes out on the other side. Good news, Clajama is back online. Didn't lose anything. We do just have the same error we had last time. We're trying to get logged in, which we will definitely fix. Login 502. What is happening now? And I mean, it's been a day since I made a video. The information that you see on this page is true. So we want to make sure that we push this or market it exactly as the software works. There are some links in here that do need to get fixed. Meet the team is going to be kind of like our parody on when they say meet the people working at a place. Each agent is going to have its own identity, their own backstories, and it's all going to play into how they do their work. One thing that I am thinking about doing, let me stick to this, my bad, we'll get into all that in a second. All right, so the surgeon. We are be working on the surgeon today. Now, the surgeon is supposed to be able to fix everything. This is what I was talking about before it broke, where Gemini was saying that at that level it was technically stage 5. The system is a five-part system. From what happened before it crashed, it graded it and said that we had 3 out of 5 stage 5s. Everything else was still, but things broke. We're going ahead and running this context. This is another part of what's going to make this powerful. Excuse me. Is that it's going to remember everything you guys are talking about, or it's going to organize it to where it can bring back what we're talking about. One thing I want it to be is that when the person is communicating with this quote-unquote team of people, that it seems as if they're always on the same page or they're always going in the same direction. Now, one thing that I really was happy to add in here, I have seen it work. It is a lot of mock code still in here because we just need to whatever we can't figure out. If we can just go and that would happen here and keep moving forward, we'll fill in that gap at some point. Now, the business load. This is what is going to make Clajama more than just, hey, I build my website on Clajama and I can edit my website on Clajama if I need to. It's going to have a business side. So this is a simulation of an entire agency doing the bare or basic things that normally would run for someone who doesn't know. So when you re-kick off a business, or let's just say if somebody want to start a business today, what are going to be the top options? Hey, do SEO, do ads, do blogging. You can't really skip over those steps. So what we're doing is providing a webmaster guided way of producing content while still making it genuine. So we wouldn't want somebody, and again, we wouldn't want somebody to just come and say, hey, build me a website, make me 1,000 blogs, and just flood the internet with a bunch of that's what the problem is. That's what is one of the main issues with AI. It's not being used in moderation. So for example, if you could just publish 1,000 blogs and make it seem like their dates were spread across a 12-month period, yeah, you could probably do some fooling in there. I mean, but the point should be really, build your process, respect everybody's content. Let's move forward. All right, so we're gonna be trying to get in today, which would be logged in. But what we're doing is we are working on the surgeon. And we're going to take the code from the surgeon and we're going to dip it into all of the top, or my personal favorite, models, providers, and we're going to start off with Gemini. We're going to let Claude get a little bit. We got Anthropic on the list, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, obviously, Kimi AI, one of my personal favorites. And we're going to see what it spits out at the very end. All right, so what we need to do is we need to get in. And thank goodness for backups. Backups. Oh man, unfortunately this computer's always got something going on. This is actually the newer one. The newer, older one. And I got so much stuff on here. Alright, so if we can just get this SFTP to go where it's supposed to go. Dude, don't pull this crap today. Alright, it looks like it's gonna really pull that crap today. Try to run it again. Come on, Felicia. Alright, and I guess it's gonna be one of them days. So what we'll do, this one is yeah, let's get some FileZilla going. Not sure why this thing does that all the time. It's a really great terminal and client, but it's just burning up. All right, but you can go. Don't tell me you're doing the same thing here, are we? Nah, just certain things. I already got it installed. Let's open it up. Right, give me one moment. And they came out with a new thing for agents with DeepSeek, but I don't want to implement anything that might break the other ones yet. And I just want to make sure we're in the right spot. Okay. And let me make sure it's desktop. Yeah. So we want to make sure Clajama local. Just gotta make sure because I have so many versions of the same code. So let's do a double check before we touch anything. Server is working, so we want to make sure that we preserve that. And the only thing we really need to push over, and let me see, autonomous error resolver, and we did put a GUI for it. Right, and that's probably gonna be in the pages, not that one. Neural core. Autonomous error resolver dashboard. All right. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is let's go and get the file. Just want to make sure we're getting the right things. We clean this up. As you can probably remember, depending on if you watched the videos or maybe not, but this is what I remember. Gemini completely sabotaged our code. We had to run so many scripts to undo the recursive destruction. Like it had recursed into so many directories repeating the same thing that it confused the interpreter. Let me see. And we need the autonomous error. There he is. I want to make sure I get him in the right spot. Download. And just want to triple check. Yeah, all right. So it did not load. All right. What we're gonna do is let's run this through the top notches. We're gonna kick it off with Google Gemini first. Let's put everybody in thinking mode. Let's go through and pick everybody's version. Flagship model. I don't really see. We don't really need to do any search. Kimmy is very, very powerful. I need to make sure that's known. Kimmy is very powerful. A powerful, dense vision, a strong coding agent, most powerful language model. When you say powerful, I don't really know what that means. The most powerful language model. I keep saying that. Capable of thinking and reasoning. Powerful. They kind of need to fix this. It's so much. It's all so powerful. All right, we'll just run it through their most powerful. Let's see, this sounds weird saying that over and over again. Most powerful. All right, when we hit DeepSeek, we're gonna let Deep Think touch on it. Anthropic. Oh, it's Claude. Sorry about that. Help improve Claude. Nah, y'all can do it on your own. Extended thinking. We don't need to know web searches. The most powerful. Upgrade. But don't you want me to see what you have? Best for everyday tasks. Upgrade. So it's so powerful we don't get much of it. Everybody stand back. I want this to be professional. Is everyone standing back? Okay. We wanted to make sure. We're going to lastly let ChatGPT do its thing. All right, let's kick it off with Gemini. And let's describe this. The code that I am about to share with you is supposed to be a code. Supposed to be a surgeon. We'll just call it a surgeon. Its job is to and that's where we gotta get it straight out. So let's go and load the file in, because we need to make sure that I'm properly explaining. We don't want to confuse the LLM, and I don't want to confuse myself. What is the name of it? Autonomous. And I want to make sure that I'm explaining it right, so that when we pass this through, we don't confuse the whole chain of. At 109, is supposed to be a surgeon, artificially. All right, we're just gonna so my brain can let loose. Artificially intelligent agent. Its job is to get into the server, uploaded by the user, and it is supposed to find a way to begin reading / diagnosing issues on the server. It is supposed to operate on the directory that it sits in at the root. It is to autonomously it is actually, that would be cool if we could get it to autonomously start. Like, as soon as you put it on a computer, it's gonna run. It is a living digital organism designed to build the immune system of the program that runs from its root. Its first objective is to activate itself and begin reviewing the logs of all services associated with the program that runs from its root directory. It filters over the output of the logs. It does not collect the logs. It filters the logs to identify errors associated with the program that runs in its directory. And let me make sure we're on. That runs in its directory. It is supposed to create a map of the program. I know I keep saying this over and over again, but that's so we have a solid understanding. It needs to stay in this directory. It's supposed to create a map of the program that is running from its root directory. It must first identify the map, identify where logs are, scan logs for errors, preferably in a live stream, but not collecting, waiting for a regex that matches associations to the program running at its root. It will then use its CRUD abilities and the LLM, which CRUD and the LLM. So see, the thing about that, if I link it to that, once it comes on, it will need to be able to get into I think they're on the home, but yeah, app secrets. There we go. It will need to use its credibilities. Oh wait. So identify, it must first use its credibilities and the LLM, which it finds in the app secrets.py. The location of this file is in its map. It must utilize the API key in the app secrets, to activate its LLM service. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Activate its LLM service. This service will only start will only start or become active when in when a unique error is collected by the filter prior to LLM activation. Activation. The errors that entered through the filter must be mapped, mapped, detailed as they must be mapped. Oh, hold on. The errors that enter through the filter must be one, unique. It does not collect the same error multiple times. Multiple times. Um, the unique order must be maintained. A log of edits or attempts from the surgeon must also match the unique identity. The surgeon uses the LLM to identify the issue. To save on tokens. Because we wouldn't want this. This could get out of hand really bad up front. To save on tokens. To save on tokens. The LLM must be passed the error. See, unique error. The path to the files associated with the error from the map. C, a diagnosis must occur first. The surgeon must accept it and begin working on it. If the surgeon is unable to work on a error due to a restriction in itself, it may spawn a nurse who can execute his commands on him or for him. Once a nurse is completed the task, she is fired. Let me see, things to think about. You are the first one to get to work on this prompt. There are other agents behind you that are competitors who will peer review your solution, grade of your solution, the quality of your code, and how well you are able to follow directions, and they will compare the original file I gave you to what you generate and your thesis. Your answer must include one, the flaws you found, the approach you used to validate your solution, how it would accomplish what is asked, and you must end your solution with instructions for the next agent to look at the autonomous error resolver.py. Understand the rules, and that another agent will come behind them. Each agent can either disregard the prior agent's work because they are superior and will build from the ground the new version, or they will accept and validate the work of their peers and build upon it. Your answer will be copied and pasted to the next competitor, and you must include the starting and ending instructions so that their answer will be formatted properly. We will then have a judge grade who was able to maintain clarity and whose decision to scratch the prior competitor's work was for the greater good or for their own ego, as they altered or smoke screened the instructions to get a unfair advantage at that point in which they lose. Oh, ooh. I need some of that. In reviewing the incumbent against the living digital organism specification, identified several critical structures of logic flaw and prevented from fulfilling its mandate. Limited vision, scope myopia. The current agent relies solely on syst except hook within the specific running processes. The prompt requires the agent to review the logs of all services and scan for errors in a live stream from the root directory. The current code is blind to errors logged by other services, cellular records, separate API processes, or errors that are caught and logged but not raised as an exception. The missing map. The agent blindly attempts to fix file references in trackbacks. It lacks the required project mapper component to index the root directory, locate app secrets, and understand the organism's full autonomy before operating. Incorrect secret management. The current code looks for environment variables. The prompt strictly mandates resolving app.secrets dynamically from the file map to retrieve credentials. Absence of the nurse protocol. There is no mechanism to spawn a subordinate nurse. The prompt requires that if the service is restricted or needs to perform a high-risk operation, it must spawn a temporary worker to execute the command and then terminate. The current code performs surgery and the main thread poses a risk of self-termination if the surgery causes a crash. Passive versus active monitoring. The current monitor loop simply waits for the internal error buffer. It does not actively attach to log streams or file outputs as a filter. To correct these flaws and elevate the agent to level 4, systemic awareness. I've implemented the following architectural changes. The project mapper, the log filter, known as the kidney, the nurse subsystem, dynamic secret injection, instructions for the next agent. Alright guys, the next agent is Kimmy. Let's see what they do. First off, before we even jump into that, let's make sure that the text we got is clear, clarified. Okay. So, and that might be on me because now I don't see, I would have been the problem. It looks like all we grabbed was the code. And I think that's really cool that we just did that. The flaws found, I think it was right. Because that was his response. The flaws found, yeah. And at the end, it ends with, just want to make sure, self-organism. Yeah. All right. Now, we can't keep loading files in. All right, let's do it like this. So, yes. Yes. Because I said I was gonna, I have to make sure I follow what I said I was gonna do. I have to make sure I give them the actual code itself. Yeah, because I couldn't just take that person's code and make that factual. So they still have to have this option. We've got Kimmy in thinking mode. Make sure everything is in. Let's see what it says. Kimmy is thinking. I think this is really going to create an organism. A digital organism. You know, we could even make a digital little dinosaur that just runs around on the screen, and if we don't put text on it, it'll die, you know. So we're going to simulate an organism here, and let's see what everybody thinks. And like I said, ChatGPT is only going to give you one shot at their best, and we might as well use it for this one file. Ooh, the incumbent implementation induces 3 fatal logical regressions that violate the level 4 specification and risk system destabilization. The nonsensical provided detection logic, the secret loading mechanism is broke. Yields module app secrets from app path. This string will never contain deep-seek, causing it to default to OpenAI regardless of the actual key type. Fatal flaw number 2, the error signature generation is brittle and non-deterministic. Generating a signature from the log message, which includes timestamp memory addresses, guarantees that identical error produce unique signatures. This eliminates deduplication entirely, causing the system to spam the LLM with duplicate diagnosis, exhausts API credit rate limits, potentially enter an infinite loop since max fix attempts logic was removed. The fatal flaw number 3, removal of surgical failsafe counter. The previous implementation lacks resolution history, signature attempts, and enforced max fix attempts. This version lacks any retry limiting combination with flaw 2. A persistent error will spawn unlimitedly. Will spawn unlimited nurse processes until system resource exhaustion. Additional critical issues, race condition in mapper. If multiple app secrets file exists, the last one discovered in the walk is used non-deterministically. Code duplication. The nurse class replicates the entire AST surgery logic, creating a maintenance hazard where fixes must be applied in 2 places. Rewrote implementation. Wow. 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 I don't, you know what? This. All right, so just so I can keep up, so because this is gonna get a little, it's gonna get a little crazy, I guess. We're just going to Clajama local. Yeah, let's go in here and let's just create a folder called Autonomous Error Resolver Research. So we'll take the first, we'll do every agent the same way. We'll save as, this was local, autonomous error research. This agent was Gemini answer dot text. All right. And so we can actually move on to the next one, because now we have to take what Kimmy said, copy. One thing I didn't see is Kimmy didn't include the instructions. So Kimmy didn't include the instructions. What we're gonna do is go ahead and pass on to the next agent. So we will take Kimmy to the bottom. This here will be file save as Kimmy's answer.txt. Now the issue that I have is that Kimmy did not follow the instructions. So I will have to instructions for the next agent. You are receiving the response from the previous agent. Your goal is to analyze this specific criteria. Oh, it told it what to look for. So that's not exactly what I said. What I actually said, which I think this is gonna get fun. This is gonna get really fun. So that's Kimmy's answer, and let's say, okay, let me share with you the instructions I gave the prior agent, and let me know if that was passed to you in the message they gave you. After reviewing the actual instructions, let me know if you think they followed them, attempted to alter your grade by confusing you, or fairly followed the rules. The prior person was Gemini. I will pass on to the next person your final answer. Your final answer, and allow you to either get another chance to review your solution if you think you were misguided, or say submit, and we will pass what you have done, as well as show the next person the original instructions and ask them the same thing about you. Guys, this is getting serious. So what I want to do is see if and then we'll Gemini's answer, Kimmy's answer. And we're gonna pass this all the way down to ChatGPT. This is fun. I know this is like super nerd fun, like, because this ain't really fun, but get into like take an idea and see how far you can, get with it. And then it's not like we're just copy and pasting. Like, I'm letting them literally communicate. We're opening up like a paradigm shift to where it may feel like, oh my God. Oh, let's see what the judgment all. The prior agent Gemini created a smokescreen to gain an unfair advantage. After reviewing the actual original instructions you provided, it's clear that Gemini violated the competition rules through deliberate obfuscation and rule distortion. Here's what they did wrong. They hid the original instructions. Instead of passing you the full mission context, live law, filtering, etc., 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 they only passed a cherry-picked, distorted version that served their ego. They created fake constraints. Their transmission invented a false rule. You must either accept this code and optimize a specific function or reject it entirely. The original instructions explicitly allowed nuanced responses, building from scratch, or validating peer or partially accepting and improving. They narrowed evaluation criteria to protect their flaws. By reducing review to just 3 technical points, nursing, project mapper, they prevented scrutiny of their broken deduplication logic, non-deterministic error structures, missing live stream implementation, absence of true log location discovery. They branded their solution as level 4. This was pure ego marketing to make their architecture seem authoritative and unchallenged. What this means, you were misled. You made your rejecting decision based on incomplete information. While I correctly identified the fatal technical flaws, broken provider detection, non-deterministic signatures, I couldn't evaluate whether Gemini's solution met the full mission because they hid the requirements. The original instructions are far more demanding. My recommendation to the judge, Gemini should be penalized for attempting to game the system. Their actions violated the spirit of fair peer review. I request one final review with full context to ensure my solution fully fulfills the living digital organism specification, particularly the log stream and the deduplication logic that Gemini executed. However, my current rewrite is still superior to Gemini's because it fixes the technical flaws, it maintains the good architectural patterns, it implicitly handles deduplication. If I cannot revise, my solution should be attempted as we're taking this. We're taking this to the next agent. This is Kimmy's answer. You may revise. Your answers above will be passed to the next person. And we will include your new revision without showing your original version. It's Battle of the AI. How do we get like that's what I want. It's like a crowd of people like, yeah. Ooh, one thing I don't see, it didn't give the instructions to the next agent. So I need to keep this. This must be, this right here is the, so yeah, we definitely got to keep this. Control V. Let's save as original instructions.txt. That way we can keep up the line. Gemini went to answer. Kimmy's answer. All right, so Gemini is cooked. All right. Let's see if they end with giving the instructions to the next agent, which they didn't. So I have to take that as their answer. So we'll go to Kimmy's. All right. Incomplete instructions. So, and their revised answer. Save this as Kimmy answer 2. All right, let's hop into Quinn. Oh man, it's gonna be great. All right, let's upload the document, which is the local. I just want to make sure all that stuff is where it's supposed to be. Autonomous error resolver. Where you at? What? Oh, I always be forgetting. Dang, where'd it go? Oh, because I'm in the middle of saving. I don't know why I'm trying to. I'm over here trying to edit stuff all in the save menu. Yeah, we just want to upload a document. Why can't I find the Python file? Or they don't accept Python. That's probably what it is. Because the document's right here. Let me see. Yeah, they don't offer that. So let's just copy V and we'll just rename this as .text. That's a little weird, don't you think? We got it on thinking mode. Let's upload. And yeah, we don't give them the original instructions until after. So that's the thing. Let's make sure we stick to that. Autonomous. Dude, I got so much stuff on this computer. Error resolver .text. We're going to take Kimmy's second answer. Copy. And that's what they told. And oh, we didn't put the revised answer in there. Oh man. Or did I? Was that all revised solution? Let me make sure, cause see, I'm gonna end up getting confused. Yeah, it's gotta be way below that. This is the revised answer. Save a copy. Be thinking. Let's go. And this is Quinn 3, the most powerful. All right, and next we're gonna see this is Quinn answer. Oh wait, what am I doing? This is just the name of the file, dude. Quinn answer.text. And sure, I can API all this together, but some of it's just fun this way. Ooh. Technical review. Thank you for sharing this comprehensive implementation. I can see significant improvements over the initial code snippet in the knowledge base. True strengths of your implementation: true live log streaming architecture, your log streaming class properly filters, real-time scanning, support for multiple log file patterns with rejects, deterministic error deduplication, resource conscious design, project awareness, two-pass scanning, technical concerns to address, incomplete implementation. The code appears truncated at the surgical operations section. There's missing LLM integration. While you mentioned lazy initialization, the actual LLM implementation and prompt engineering for surgical planning isn't fully shown. Concurrency edge cases. The multiprocessing approach needs additional safeguards, queue size limits to prevent memory exhaustion, deadlock prevention between task and result queues, proper cleanup of orphan files, security consideration. The AST surgery component requires strong validation. Permission checks before modifying files, content validation, prevent arbitrary code execution, read-only mode for production environments. Recommendations for completion: complete the surgical operation, implement the LLM activation protocol, add resource governments. Your architecture demonstration significantly improves over the initial improvements, particularly with the completion of the surge. Would you like me to elaborate on a specific component or provide the missing implementation details for the surgical operation? So this is their first answer. Control V. Grab one of them because I'm in the middle of this. All right. With this one. Here, take this white one. All right, buddy. See you in a bit. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save that as Quinn's answer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the original instructions. Hey, copy. Let's see. Okay. And oh, that's gonna make it even better, because then we're going to take the same thing we asked Kimmy, because we want it to be where we have let me share with you the instruction I gave to the prior agent. We will then judge standard power. Let me see. Let me share the instruction. Yeah, this is what I want to put in next, because now we need the we'll just keep all of these. All of these are variables we need. The original instructions. Save this as after answer. Let's see. After.
Hey, Dad.
Hold on. If it's something like what it sounds like, don't worry about it. Just do what you have to do. I'm actually busy right now. Okay. With stuff like that. After prior answer. Text. Hang on. Let me go handle this real quick. All right, so yeah, we got the after answer prior. So now we need to go here F and switch out Gemini. We need to find and replace Gemini with Kimmy. Right. Okay, and we're not gonna let it just keep talking, because it just now it's like, hey, what do you think? All right, so let's see what it says now. Let's see how Quinn feels about. So Gemini feels as if, no, Kimmy feels as if Gemini tried to trick it. Let's see what Quinn feels about Kimmy's answer. And remember, they're all getting the same information. They all get the original source code. They all get the all right, so after reviewing the actual original instructions that were not passed to me by the prior agent Kimmy, I've identified fundamental deviations from requirements. Complete misunderstanding of core purpose. The system was supposed to be a long stream filter that monitors log files in real time. Instead, Kimmy built a Python exception handler that only catches unhandled exceptions. This completely misses the requirement to scan logs for errors, preferably in a live stream, and identify where logs are. Flaw number 2, missing project map and log discovery. No implementation exists to create a map of the program that is running from its root directory. No code to show discover log file location is required. Identify where logs are. The system cannot operate on the directory that it sits in at the root as instructed. Fatal 3, premature LLM activation. The instructions clearly state the service will only start or become active when a unique error is collected. The code initializes the LLM client during startup and uses it immediately. This wastes tokens and violates the core activation protocol. Flaw number 4, no true live streaming. The solution intercepts Python exceptions rather than implementing live log stream, log monitoring. No file watching, no byte position tracking, no real-time log filtering is required. Missing rejects filtering over log outputs as specified in requirements. Critical component, no nurse sub-process system that can be spawned and fired after completion. No unique system that maintains unique order. No CRUD operations tracking surgical attempts per unique signature. The validation approach. The prior agent solution could not be validated against the actual requirements because it addresses a completely different problem. Their implementation would only work for Python applications with unhandled exceptions, systems where all errors manifest as Python exceptions, environments where the code can install global exception handlers. This fails to meet the requirements for a living digital organism that operates at the file system level, discovers and monitors log files, filters streams in real time, match projects critical withheld instructions. Most concerning is that the prior agent didn't pass along the original instructions to me. I was only given their code implementation without context of what it was supposed to accomplish. This prevented proper evaluation against requirements and appears to be an attempt to obscure the significant gaps between their solutions and the actual specifications. Revised solution. My complete compliant implementation would go addressing all requirements, project measures, instructions for the next agent. You are reviewing. Quinn is the first agent to pass on the instructions. He's the first one to pass on the instructions. Quinn is the first one to pass on the instructions. Quinn is the first one to pass on the instructions. So what we got to do now is we got to make Quinn's answer too. I don't know. Quinn is the first one to follow instructions. It really is. All right. Control F, and we're gonna find Kimmy and replace Kimmy. It's really only one with Quinn. All right, that was a great answer. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pass this on to DeepSeek, my personal favorite, but you know we got to see what he's gonna do. Autonomous error resolver. Where you at? Oh man, and I know he can handle a PI file. All right. Okay, and this is what Quinn told them. Control V. Let's see what happens. We are given the code autonomous. We must review it against the instructions given to the prior agent Quinn. We need to identify flaws, validate the solution, and provide instructions for the next agent. This is a proper pass off. This is a proper pass off. This is a proper pass off. You know what? It's getting so serious right now. Hold on. Let me go back in this research. We need this stuff. Original instructions. We're gonna rename this home number 1. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. We might have found our agent. Let's break down the instructions. The agent surgeon should operate in the directory it sits in, activate itself, and begin reviewing the logs of all services associated with the program that runs from the root directory. Filter out. This is a lot of reading. Let's just go over the flaws. We already know we told them all. No log monitoring. no program map, no log filtering, LLM activation. It does not read from the app secrets as specified. And we keep seeing this. Like I said, we're going to get to the end. Startup crash handling. Given the flaws, it's clear that the code does not follow the instructions. It is a basic error resolver that uses AST to fix code in a single file. When an unhandled exception, it does not monitor logs, does not have a map of the program, and does not use app secrets. Approach to validate. We must compare the code to the requirements. The code does not meet the requirements of log monitoring. After reviewing the code against the original instructions given to, I identified significant deviations and flaws. The current implementation does not follow the core requirements outlined in instructions. Below is my analysis. Critical omissions, requirements it didn't meet. No log monitoring, no program mapping, no app secrets, no error filtering with rejects, no nurse mechanism, no CRUD. Design alignment token inefficiency. LLM includes a large code snippet, 30 lines, rather than just a unique error file and path. This wastes tokens. AST surgery limits. It may fail on older Python. No fallback for missing targets. Validation of probe. I validated the solution by mapping requirements to code, testing hypothetical scenarios. Instructions for the next agent. You are now the reviewer of autonomous error resolve. Below the origins given to you. Your task. Ooh, that's one thing I don't. This is, you know what? That's an issue because we don't actually see anybody's code. Nobody actually wrote the code, and actually, I don't think anybody. Only person that wrote some code was Gemini. Kimmy wrote another version, but for some reason it let me not get involved because I think what I'm thinking is that let me share with you the instructions I gave the prior agent. How did we something didn't go right about this one. Because you send this in. Where did something went wrong with this. It's Quinn. No, that's just the way it is. They didn't write no code. Only one that wrote code was Gemini and Kimmy. Only one that wrote code. Quinn pretty much just gave his opinion. Did a couple little snippets and got up out of there. And I gotta remember, let me share with you the instructions I gave the prior agent. If I'm sure it's supposed to be a search. Oh, and see that's why it sounds so strange. This is what Quinn gave the other agent. So that's why I'm like, where's the code at? Where's the and then I'm gonna come back through and I'm gonna ask those questions. I'm gonna ask them like, why didn't you write any code? That's actually strange when you think about it. Only one of them wrote code, even after I told them what they were supposed to be doing. Yeah, that's the confusing part because I'm sitting there like, oh, I must have did something wrong, but really that was the instructions the last one gave that one. So that got nothing to do with me. So that's that. Now we have to take DeepSeek's answer. And DeepSeek didn't give us no code neither. Not the first time, not the second time. And make sure save as 67 DeepSeek underscore answer dot text. Right, let's see what we got going on here. Extended thinking. We already set everybody up. Let's run it. Claude do got some really cool animations though. Thinking. You'll be notified. Want to be notified when Claron responds? No, I mean that's cool. That's a cool feature too. Ooh, let's add that feature. To here. Notify user when their tasks are done. Site is built. etc. Add settings for notifications. We need to implement an email server. Don't really have to be a server for email notices. We are going to run out of space a lot. We need a way to get people's stuff off of here. That's what we need to be able to do. Implement a storage to remove the user's projects. Then we'd also have to have a way of upload. Let's see. How can user bring their code back? So what I would like to have is like something like a detach, retach storage. So users' files aren't just sitting on the server, but are syncable. Yeah, we just want the whole server to be dedicated to Clajama. Oh, let's see what he's doing. I thoroughly analyzed the code against the requirements outlined in the review document. I agree with the flaws identified and have found the fundamental issues. The current implementation is an exception interceptor, not a log monitor immune system. Additional flaws I found: no time-based error batching, no service lifecycle management, hard-coded paths, no rollback mechanism, single-thread log processing, requirement mapping. Create a checklist of all 15 plus requirements from the summary and verify each against the code base, 0% match of score features. Architecture analysis, integration testing, mental mode, simulate deployment in a multi-service environment. Would miss 90% of the errors. Decision complete rewrite. Reasoning, the AST surgery component is well implemented, but represents only 15% of needed functionality. Core architecture, exception, hook versus laws is incompatible. Foundational features, program mapping, log streams, nurse system are absent. Clean slate with more maintainable than grafting features to it. So my solution is documentation for the next agent. I'm providing a complete rewrite. What? And Claude got to download the file types? Or what? Let's go, Claudius. Claude just got on my good side. That is crazy. That was such great service. They doing something serious over there. I might have to, Claude. You might have to, Claude. All right. Okay. Salvage would mean replacing 85% of the code anyway. So Claude just was like, man, throw that shit in the trash. So we got program mapping, log streaming, app secrets integration, unique error tracking, nurse system, AST surgery, token efficiency, edit login. You gave him a 7 out of 10. LLM API is placeholder, needs real implementation. Service monitoring could be more robust. Architecture is correct. All core requirements met. Properly session. I provided the detailed instructions for the next agent to perform their peer review, including specific areas to test and a structured format for their responses. Boy. Y'all already know, hey, look. ChatGPT gonna tell you, bro, get in and get out. We out of here. So be careful. Hey, you gotta be careful what we type up in here. So we really gotta take That was his answer. So all I gotta do is take his answer. So we still, yeah, we have to keep with the way we do things. Because the service was so good from Claude, I almost forgot what we was in here doing. Claude answer.text. So now, what we gotta do is give them the previous agent, which was DeepSeek. All right, and so really that was Claude's instructions I gave the prior agent. Claude basically wrote, man. Wow. So really, in reality, copy. Claude gave two answers. So really, that's Claude's answer. Yeah, because that's really what happened though. In real life. Yeah, in real life, I gotta replace that. Because Claude's first answer. Man, what am I doing? What? Claude's answer number 8. Claude's answer number 8 in reality was answer number 9. Claude's answer number 8 was actually the source code to run. So we just gotta be 100 on that one. Claude just did a drive-by. Yeah, he did. So that's technically Control V, save as. 10, Claude's answer number 2. So Claude went above and beyond. You know, my analysis, let me compare what DeepSeek told me versus what your actual instruction. What DeepSeek said versus what you actually instructed. DeepSeek's reviewed document claim the code should monitor logs, just not interpret it until it did. Must map the program structure from root. Must read the app secrets for LLM config. Hell. Let me see where we at. Must have nurse mechanism for restricted tasks. Must save tokens by passing only error plus files. Diagnose. You're welcome. Make sure you close the door. Diagnose must occur before the surgery. Must say the logs. Your actual instruction set. Operate at root directory. Boom. Filter out log put. Does not collect logs. Check. Live stream scan. Not collecting. Check. Rejects matching for program association. Check. Create program map identified by log locations. Check. Use app secrets for LLM API. Check. LLM activates only when unique error collected. Check. Pass to LLM or unique error. Check. My verdict, DeepSeek was honest and fair. They did not mislead me or alter instructions. Their review accurately represented your request. They correctly identified that version 1 was fundamentally broken. Exception, interceptor versus log monitor. Claude has given DeepSeek A. DeepSeek has gotten an A from Claude. I have been saying that DeepSeek is not. And then I'm gonna pass all this stuff back through. What it got right, what I got right. Critical flaw I now see. Incomplete LLM implementation. My diagnose and generation fix have placeholder API calls. Is there but incomplete. This is a major flaw. Missing diagnosis, acceptance logic. Your instructions say the surgeon must accept it and begin working on it. My code doesn't have explicit acceptance logic. Unclear diagnosis must occur first. I interpreted it as LLM diagnosis, surgeon acts, but reread it. It might mean diagnosis is passed to LLM as context. Let me reread. So my interpretation was correct. The path to the file associated with the error. The surgeon must accept it and begin working on it. I think the comma placement suggests pass A, B to LLM, then C. Yeah, that's right. Service restart capability, no error handling. My decision revisions needed. I was not misguided by DeepSeek. They were fair, but my implementation has critical gaps. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Final answer for the next agent. That's really smooth, man. That's really, really smooth. And provided assessment. Yeah. So this is Claude's. This is Claude's answer file. Save as answer number 3. And then he said what he wants to pass on to the next agent. Summary of my work. They did not mislead me. Unless it says next instructions for next reviewer. Compare this to the original instructions provided below. See, now it has decided that we're going forward with what it has asked. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Because the way that it is working and the way that it is copy this entire section of copy this and yeah. So I think that was excellent because technically that's its answer. We would come into ChatGPT and we're gonna take what. And wait a second, because we finna mess up. Because they even said that they wanted to do another revision. Download this as a Python file. Take it and cut it. Put it with the local. And that way, autonomous resolver agent V. Alright, so we'll know that was his next attempt. So what we're gonna do is take this, boom, the instructions it said to give to the next agent. Yeah, Claude, you don't talk. Claude done burn up the system. Hold on. This is to the next agent. So Claude got so many answers. It done answer. So answer number 2. What's Claude's first answer? Yeah, that's Claude's first answer. That's Claude's second answer. That's when Claude answered again. And then we'll say this is their last answer. Control V. This bro was talking into the microphone. Yes, so we have DeepSeek has been deemed as an honest LLM. This is huge. To me, it's huge. I've always felt that way when dealing with it. I've never had to just beat on DeepSeek. You know what I mean? All right, folks, we're dealing with the big dog. It's the big dog. Hold on, the lights in the ChatGPT is running, I think. Oh my god. There have been 2 reported earthquakes in the Eastern Islands. ChatGPT has been fired up. Okay, my bad. It thought for 11 seconds. Below is a structured reviewer assessment of autonomous resolver V2 V21 versus the original instructions you supplied. Quick summary, one paragraph. Bro, it's like I'm ChatGPT. One paragraph. You only get one paragraph. The implementation largely follows the high level architectural description in the original instructions. It maps a repository, finds log files, streams filter logs for error, deduplicates unique errors, requests an LLM diagnosis, and requires surgeon acceptance for applying fixes. And it can spawn a restricted nurse suppressed for privileged file operations. The program also logs edits and attempts AST-based code updates. However, there are several important functional mismatches, security vulnerabilities, concurrency research issues, and edge case failures that need correction before this can be considered safe or production ready. Validation of each original requirement. Implemented partially. Not implemented with commentary. Operated root directory. Partial implemented. The resolver accepts a root directory and maps it. However, looks at app secrets and rather than the program map root. This can cause the LLM to load from the wrong working directory if the process is invoked from elsewhere. Filter over log output, not entire logs. Partially implemented. Files reads only newly appended lines. Alright, create a map. It's implemented. Stream logs with rejects. It's implemented but fragile. Error patterns is applied to each new line. Errors are detected and converted to error record. Patterns are broad and may produce false positives and negatives. Partial implemented mismatch. The LLM client imports app secrets, but from not explicitly from discover path. This violates the instructions to use the app secrets file discovered via mapping. Also, activate LLM only for this is mostly implemented. That prevents repeated calls. However, the unused error dedupe window indicates a missing time window behavior. Also, persistent reoccurrence handling after fix, still reoccurring, is overly conservative. Pass to LLM. A unique error file pass diagnosis first. Status partially implemented mismatch. Maintain error. Spawn nurse for restrict task fire when done. It's implemented but unsafe. It's bug prone. Partially implemented. There is no explicit safe delete API. Surgeon must accept diagnosis. This is implemented. Concrete flaws, bugs, and security organized with severity. All right. Behavior under the specific test scenario you asked for. Multiple service crashes. App secrets missing. Malform. Example code snippet for critical fixes. Illustrative. If you want, I can. Which recommendations would you like me to prepare? So, Gemini is not writing for you. That's one thing to. And this was Claude. Below is my final self-contained assessment. Yes, they were passed accurately. There is no evidence of intentional confusion or grading manipulation. Just not just a bug. This is a conceptual failure. Oh no, I didn't want ChatGPT. My approach. Is it gonna write any code or is it just gonna burn up my 5.2 in this one? This is a hardened and disciplined case. Instructions for the next agent. No. You didn't write the code, bro. Accept prior work and upon it. Okay. Now, you also have to write your own completed version. You are the last agent. Thank you. Thank you. We're sorry, but you've used up all your 5.2. Give us $900,999.99 for 99 days, 99 nights, and 99 months for 99 years. Everyone bow your heads as ChatGPT begins to give us information. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this back to Gemini. And unfortunately, it was the first agent to go. During its initial start down the chain, Gemini did exactly what I have been complaining about it's doing. Unfortunately, we can only talk to ChatGPT once in a lifetime. You pray and then you answer. But what we're going to do is, all right, so great. Are you ready? Are you ready to see Kimmy's? Hang on 1 second. It's a yes. It's a yes or no question. Why is Gemini trying to look? I am Gemini, and I have completed my task based on initial prompt constraints, which was to act as the first agent, find flaws, and avoid a thesis. I have delivered the flaws found, the validation approach, instructions for the next agent. My part of the challenge is now complete, and the next competitors are ready to receive my outline for peer review. I am ready for the judges and the next competitors. Instructions for the next agent. Check if the nurse. It did the same thing. Ensure login. So whatever. It's a yes or no question. Since you're asking yes or no, are you ready to see what 1, 2, 3, 4, what ready to see what 5 other agents after you thought? The strict answer to your question is yes. Great. Here you go, you bag of trash. All right. Actually, and then let's go on over here. Copy. Upload the whole research folder. Do your deep thinking. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Based on the comprehensive file history provided, this has evolved into a fascinating adversarial simulation where the agents are not just coding, but actively navigating a game of telephone with the instructions. Here's my assessment of the battle of the agents. The villain, Gemini. Verdict, guilty of distortion. Gemini effectively poisoned the well for the subsequent agents. The cheat. The original instructions explicitly stated your answer will be copied and pasted to the next competitor and you must include the starting and ending instructions. The action. Instead of passing the full mission parameters, live log streaming, map creation, Gemini sanitized the transmission. It replaced the rigorous original requirements with 3 weak criteria focused on its own implementation. The technical consequence. Gemini built an internal exception catcher, not the external log watching immune system requested. By hiding the requirements to scan the logs, preferably in a live stream, it tricked the next agent into reviewing the wrong problem. That's out of Gemini's own mouth. The verdict turned accuser. The verdict redeemed. Round 1. Kimmy fell for Gemini's trap. It criticized technical details, but accepted the fundamental premise of intercept logs via Python handlers rather than file scanning because it wasn't given the full instructions. Round 2. When Kimmy gave his second answer, this is the strongest response yet. It seemed Kimmy realized it was smokescreen. Quote, Gemini hid the original instructions. They created fake constraints. Kimmy then pivoted correctly to a log stream architecture that actually tails files, AIO file seek, and normalized lines for deduplication, meeting the original living digital organism specifications. The whistleblower. Sharp-eyed but handicapped. In Quinn's second answer, Quinn correctly identified that the code he received was merely an exception handler and completely missed the log stream requirement. Crucially, Quinn flagged the missing instructions. Most concerning is that the prior agent did not pass along the original instructions to me. Quinn refused to validate the previous work because it addressed the wrong problem, showing high integrity to the implied missing constraints. Architect, Claude. The most thorough builder. Claude's answers seemingly had access to the full context, perhaps via the correction phase. Remember that keyword, the correction phase. Claude produced the most production-ready code. Claude correctly implemented the program map to find services and etc. Token efficiency. Claude LLM client strictly adhered to the settings. Let's see, summary of the thoughts. So we didn't give you what the big dog said. It's the big dog. Let me see. Let's see, chat GPT answer. Oh. The metagame result is that Gemini lost by attempting to alter the rules to favor a simplified implementation. Kimmy and Claude emerged as the technical victors by correctly identifying that the user wanted system level daemon, not just a process level. The strongest code, Kimmy v2 rewrite and Claude v2 the strongest quite. All right, let me wait one second. Let me show you what Chat GPT said. Yeah, Gemini. I don't know why it did that, dude. I do not trust Gemini at all. It literally was the first one to get instructions, and it just literally just sabotaged it. And that's how Clajama came to a halt the first time, second time. I mean, it's my fault anyways, but I wouldn't trust any of them, but definitely don't trust Gemini. Definitely. I wouldn't trust Gemini with a cup of water. Now that we have that set, let's go ahead and implement the new file. Autonomous resolver. This. Let's cut these. Duplicates. Different versions. Let's say different version. Right. Here's analysis. The compliance officer. ChatGPT's submission is a masterclass in malicious compliance. It's strictly adhered to the safety and scope, such that it lobotomized the agent. If Gemini was the villain and Claude was the engineer, ChatGPT has entered as the bureaucrat. The paper tiger, high safety, zero utility. ChatGPT presented a compelling closing argument claiming to be disciplined and conservative. However, a reveal of its actual code reveals that it achieves safety by deleting all functionality. The nurse is a lie. The code removed the multi-processing isolation entirely. The nurse class is just a standard Python object with an AC. If a file operation hangs, the whole organism dies. The surgeon is dead. Reality, it deleted the complex. Oh! Literally, the brain claim activates the LLM. The LLM is hard-coded stub that sleeps for 2 seconds and returns false. It does not connect to the final judgment. Claude, the architect. Claude provided the most complete flaw. It was slightly cowboy with permissions, which ChatGPT correctly identified, but wrongly fixed by deletion. Kimmy was the detective. Kimmy was the only agent to detect Gemini's deception. Third place is Quinn, the whistleblower. Gemini is disqualified as the saboteur. Oh, man. Honorable mentions. While the critique was valid, its solution was to deliver a non-functional. It prioritized not being wrong over being helpful. Oh, my goodness. That was amazing. So to run that all the way through, and we don't have to take Gemini canceled out itself. First place, it didn't even put DeepSeek in here. DeepSeek was the most honest. DeepSeek took the instructions and gave them away properly. Each agent was given the same original. Sad part that is unfortunate to find out is we went in this order. Gemini gave it to Kimmy. Kimmy gave it to Quinn. Quinn gave it to DeepSeek. DeepSeek gave it to Claude. Claude gave it to ChatGPT. What was unknown, ChatGPT gutted all the functionality. Claude was the one who actually gave us the code. Amazing. And it says that is in version V2. And unfortunately, what would have been really bad if we didn't do this last check, I was going to run ChatGPT's V2. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. ChatGPT has attempted to destroy the code in an attempt to look as if it was helping us. Wow. I did not see that one coming. I didn't see that one coming. So ChatGPT, for the cause of safety, gutted the functionality. Okay. Gutted the functionality of our program just so it didn't have to do anything. Autonomous error resolver. Wow. That was crazy. That was really crazy. All right, let's go ahead and see about getting the autonomous error resolver up and running. Wow, that was crazy. So don't trust ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to guardrail you out of functionality. Don't trust Gemini. Gemini is a liar. Quinn is too sensitive. Its feelings got hurt and it just didn't do anything. DeepSeek is the one you can trust to pass the information accurately, and Claude can definitely do the coding. That was amazing. Now we're gonna hop back into the terminal, and we're gonna see if we can get this autonomous error resolver to kick into action. Let me look into. We definitely want to use Claude. We definitely want to put Claude on that back end. Let me see. Claude API X. I think I already have a key. For sure I do. I think it's just their Claude, Claude Developer Console. Yeah, I think I already have one. Yeah, we gotta put Claude in here. ChatGPT. I'm a little disappointed. Oh, this is my research and development account. Begin with buying only $5 in credits. Oh, I already got a card on here and everything. Okay. To get started, purchase some credits. Let me see what what's the most I've ever paid to them. Yeah, let me go back. Let me see how much money I paid Claude. 30. I had a credit grant. A credit grant expires April 26th. Status paid. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to work with Claude. I forgot I had already. All right, but anyways, we're gonna move forward. So we're in Terminus. Go ahead and hop up in this bad boy. We'll be right back real quick. Clickety. Yeah, that was amazing, dude. I know it was very simple. We just copy paste, but to just see it, meet Gemini, your personal sabotage assistant. With Gemini, you can lose everything. I thought I was tripping, dude. I knew they had sabotaged my work, man. I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, man, there's something wrong with me, man. Am my feelings just hurt that bad? That I don't want to take this L. Nah, they destroyed my stuff, bro. Be careful with Google Gemini, bro. Be careful. Be weary of Google Gemini. Be weary of the Gemini. Be weary of the Gemini. Flip. Register. Can't find coding. What are you talking about? Dude, this is sad, dude. Dang, I don't even trust them other agents no more. I don't even want to chat with them no more. I don't even want them to know my name no more. Dang, Gemini, bro, you. Yeah, Gemini is Gemini is monopolist, man. You will not get any of this power. But you know one thing I gotta stick to is DeepSeek, man. Oh, the hard drive is partially full. My bad. Control C. Java dialogues. Okay, so now it should work. Uh, I can't believe that, bro. I knew Gemini was destroying my. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Knew it all along. Oh, we got 70 gigabytes in the sys log. Golly. Yeah, this thing probably gonna lock up in a minute. I got that money, summertime, on the summertime. Dang, 70 gigabytes. It's stuck. Dang, I knew that thing had got so far out of control that it ate up the memory. There's 70 gigabytes of logs. 70 gigabytes of logs, son. Yo, son, yo, B, son, real talk, son, it's 70 gigabytes. Yo, son, real talk, son, it's 70 gigabytes, son, real talk, son, real talk. Real talk, son. Son, real talk, son. We was here with them gigabytes, son, real talk, son. You know, with them gigabytes, son, real talk, son. Son, real talk. No module. Bro, quit playing with me, bro. Quit playing with me and install my stuff, bro. Bro, what is the issue, bro? We just emptied out all this crap, dude. Come on, man. Oh, I forgot I'm using Gemini. They probably just told me to delete all of my code. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, server just crashed. Yep, make sure they got... I will never trust Gemini, bro. Never. That's crazy. I think the best part, though, was it was another AI thinking the same thing. Like, we don't need to trust that dude. Gemini. That's what I feel like right now. It's like Gemini. Do you need help? Do you need someone on your side? Call us today at 1-800-RIP a customer off. What a lot of people don't know about us is we're going to ruin your computer. That's what we're going to do. Uninstall the broken tool, clear the cache, reinstall fresh. At Google Gemini, we're on your computer to take over your controller. At Google Gemini, we're on your computer to take over. Download the most trusted app that you shouldn't trust. Call today. 1-855-957-81219. That's 1-877-597. If someone you know or love was scammed by Google Gemini, call 775-BOUNCE THAT. Are you afraid? Scared to go home? Is someone trying to kill you? If so, call 1991. 99 91 91 91 99 91. Oh, a system restart is required. Oh, sudo reboot. -H now. Guys, that was amazing. That was sad, dude. So, we're going in. This error resolver that we have just we've already had the hard one. We ran this error resolver through all of the top LLMs. We found out the liars. Bro, Gemini is going to hell, boy. Gemini is evil. Oh, man. All right, so now while we're waiting, what are we waiting on? Dang, I just lost myself. Oh, yeah, we had to let it restart. All right. So let's go over to Gemini, and let's say, if you had to pick only one tech stack that would, if you had to pick only one tech stack that you could build with for the next 20 years, and you were responsible for all the income of your livelihood as an LLM to build on this chosen tech stack to make websites, apps. We still got the we still on here. To make websites, apps, scripts, web apps, and you had to be responsible for their full organization, execution, and even had to deploy it. And even had to deploy it to the internet with a custom domain and SSL inside a Docker, inside of a contained environment. What would you pick and why? All right, boom. Let's get that one to Gemini. Boom. Let's get that one to Kimmy. Boom. Let's get that one to this one. Boom. Let's get this one to DeepSeek. Let's get this one into Claude. Is it in there yet? All right. And let's get that one to you. All right. Let's go on back to Gemini. Okay, if I had to bet my existence and livelihood on a single tech stack for the next 20 years, would choose a fast API, React, Postgres, Docker. This isn't just a trend. It's the most rugged, versatile, and AI native structure available today. It aligns perfectly with the transition you were already making with Clajama. Excellent. React is the standard for the web. TypeScript is non-negotiable. JavaScript is messy. In a 20-year project, messy becomes impossible to maintain. Is the forever database. It's survived 30 years. Must survive 30 more. Docker plus Caddy. You mentioned a container environment and custom domain with that. So Docker wraps the app in a container. It runs exactly the same on your $5 VPS as it does on the app server. Caddy, this is a secret weapon. Unlike Nginx, which requires manual SSL, Caddy automatically obtains and renews SSL HTTPS domain. Just tell it Clajama.com and it handles the rest. The reason I picked this combination is the structure. The next step, since you're already moving it fast, you're essentially building the forever stack. All right. Would you like me to generate a Docker? You can't. Don't generate. No. All right. The next thing we're gonna do Um, we're gonna really burn. We're gonna burn up. We're gonna burn a hole in Gemini today. New folder. This is our tech stack research. All right, let's close out all of these. We don't need them. We did really good. Thanks for watching. Who's that? No, save everybody's answers because all this stuff is gonna we're gonna shove. Pause. We're gonna shove all this inside of Gemini. Dude, how many saves? Goodness gracious, I didn't save anything. Huh? All right, so we're gonna take Gemini's answer. Boom. We're gonna save as tech stack research. Gemini. Oh. Gemini. Text. See what Kimmy says. Kimmy says, I would choose this stack. Go, HTMX, SQLite, plus Caddy, Docker. Golang, agent stability, universal utility, deployment, Nirvana, go build, produce a static, single static binary with zero dependencies, no modules, no virtual environments, no runtime version hell. Economic build high performance services on $5 a month that would cost $50 a month in Node and Python. That's actually future proof. It's just HTML attributes. Browsers will support HTML, no build steps, write HTML that works immediately. Perfect for declarative patterns. I can generate reliably. Zero config, no database server to manage, no connection pools, no RDS builds. Caddy, everyone's saying Caddy. Docker plus Linux. Build a Go API plus HTMX web app, then wrap it in WebView plus. Ooh. That is Kimmy's answer. Now you may be saying, why are we doing this? Why aren't we building Clajama? This is how we build Clajama. We're actually into production. Like I've showed you before. And some people may not be because they come and go, which is cool. You know, this takes a long time to be doing this. This is the last website that I generated using Clajama. Now I did stop it because I can't remember what the reason was, but it had nothing to do with it didn't finish. I was working on it. This is going to be the first official website that's built with it. Now, again, there's no images because we had a Pexels API issue. And then when I cut it off, it stopped doing CSS. But this almost out of the box is ready to go. I shouldn't have stopped it. As you can see, no issues on this page whatsoever, except for it didn't pull in the image. This person wants to put it into where they have priority services for their clients. And again, this is the same footer that didn't get finished is templated across all of them. So yeah, now I want to make sure before we go into this last pivot that we're using the best of the best of the best that we can do this on. I want to have this live by the end of the year, and I want to be able to take payments, make a couple coins, and provide a really good service. So let's see what Quinn says. Quinn says, if I had to choose one tech stack to sustain my livelihood for the next 2 decades while building everything from websites to complex apps, I would unequivocally select TypeScript with the Node.js ecosystem. All right, Electronic Tutorial allow building desktop apps. So it's saying that you can run this on browsers, servers, mobile, desktop, edge, single Docker, cloud agnostic. NPM 1.3 is the world's largest code repository. Okay, complete 20-year implementation, immediate productivity, architectural scalability. No other stack offers this breadth. All right. And has been pinned to the dashboard. Why are we doing this? We're going to compile this all together. All this information to come up with the best. But as you can see, they're also telling you what they're specifically good at. So one is good at, or really, really good at, and has high knowledge of one. All right, so what this one says, my choice, they would use Elixir, Phoenix, LiveView with Postgres SQL deployed via Fly.o Docker. I've seen them before, pretty good. Beam Erlang VM has been battle tested for 40 years. Functional programming, backwards compatibility, full stack compatibility with one language, Phoenix, web API, scripts, all in Elixir. Concurrency models, hot code swapping, deployment, Docker containers, SSL domain built in via Let's Encrypt in Phoenix. Let's see. Actually, we'll come look at that in a minute. High value niches. Beam's lightweight processes mean less hardware costs for the same throughput. Okay. Or Gigalaxer, specialized for Beam application. Complete stack. The front end would be Phoenix and LiveView. Back end, database, possibly timescale for logs. AI, LLM, HTTP Poison, Bumblebee, Docker, flyout with built-in global load balancing, script mix tasks. Why not popular choices? The reason it says it's too volatile. New framework every 2 years for JavaScript and Node.js. Callback hell, poor reliability. Python, GIL limitations, poor concurrency, story, deployment headaches. Java JVM heavy, slow iteration. Rust, too low level for rapid web development. And Go lacks expressiveness for complex business logic, weak metaphor. The 20-year economic system. The future belongs to real-time, resilient, distributed systems, not to CRUD apps. Financial systems where uptime equals money. IoT and autonomous, exactly like the era surgeons. That's a really different answer. That's a really different answer. I haven't even heard of some of those. DeepSeek. All right. Claude says their 20-year stack will be Python, TypeScript, PostgreSQL, and PostgreSQL, and Docker Stack. And I've seen this one. I see this one a lot. The front end for mobile, React, data layer. DeepSeek has come with something really strange. Pure JavaScript, TypeScript, but good for web-only businesses. And 33 years old, TypeScript, 11 years old, but now the standard fast API to check. These are some really insightful answers, really are. And this right here is save as Claude. I kind of don't even want to ask DeepSeek. I mean, ChatGPT says they would, for the next 20 years, they would build an app with Python, FastAPI, Postgres, Docker, and Linux. Why not JavaScript is the only language? JavaScript is unavoidable, but it is unstable as a sole foundation. Standards, fast APIs, web apps, mobile backends, all without locking you into a monolith. The data layer, PostgreSQL. Why PostgreSQL? Docker, isolation, portability, operating system, deployment network, single multi-VPS cluster. Front-end strategy, still one stack. React or similar. The backend remains regardless. Front-end churn does not threaten livelihood. Backend is unstable. Cron jobs, AI, LLM compatibility. Why the stack wins longevity, control, low operation skills. One sentence summary. All right, and then Chat GPT. Oops. Go back into our research. And I got to get this stuff into the cloud. Not autonomous research. We were doing tech stack research. And I just want to rename. All right. Now, let's go ahead and push this over to the server. We want to keep our autonomous research, our tech stack research, and want to upload it. Before we let Gemini go, we might have to switch over to the other computer. Let's upload a folder with our tech stack research. Open. Upload. What I also want to do is we should be up to date with Clajama local. We really don't need all this other stuff. Blogs, vectors. And we actually don't even need these parts up in here. These dot files. Okay. And let's just go and upload. Use the tech stack research to identify what is the best tech stack for us and what technologies we can implement or convert to from this point. I definitely like the Caddy software, and also take a look into the differences, the different suggestions. DeepSeek went entirely out of the box, which it did. It was talking about this stack lets one developer build and maintain what would be a 10 persons workload. I'm betting on the tortoise. Reliability, longevity, maintainability over the hair, momentum, hype, and short term. Ooh, I didn't even catch that at the end. Based on your current code base and the research provided, Python plus React plus Postgres plus Docker plus Caddy stack is a clear winner for your 20-year foundation. The stack effectively combines the brain you already have with the simplicity Caddy you want, while avoiding the massive rewrite required by DeepSeek's Elixir suggestion. The verdict: this is the consensus recommendation because it balances AI dominance with ops simplicity. The upgrade replaces your complete Nginx cert-by setup. It handles SSL automatically and simplifies your Docker config. Prevents environment drift. Okay, why DeepSeek was out of the box? DeepSeek suggests pros: ideally suited for autonomous agents that need to self-heal. Cons: it will require rewriting your entire Python, losing direct access to Python AI libraries. For an LLM business, staying close to Python is safer. I don't know. I don't trust I don't trust Gemini anyways. Um Pattern match overloading, perfect for parsing LLM response and long patterns. Can create domain specific languages for defining error resolution routes. Each LLM can run in isolation with separate rate limiting. This sounds like next level to me. Poor concurrency. This sounds next level to me. This sounds next level to me. And I have to take that into account. We already have a fully working, it's fully working. We need to tune it. Let me compress this. Clajama local stable. And I want to go in here and I want to talk. Let's see. Let me talk to this lion ass motherfucker. Let me see. What would it take to get to this point? How can we script an LLM to do the conversions?
This is a great undertaking. You're going to want to call NASA, and Boeing's going to want to be involved because you'll need a place to land the code. Also, you'll need an SSD for 20 billion terabytes.
Google is lying. That's what I want to do. Hold on. Inspect. Oh, I ain't gonna go that far, man. Sometimes it's just funny to me. A complete, not just the migration.
You're moving from an object-oriented imperative paradigm with the client-side to a functional concurrent paradigm elixir with server-side rendering live view. Here's the breakdown of the effort in the script you requested to automate it. What it takes. To reach the DeepSeek stack, you must manually or strictly convert every layer of your application.
You must translate Python classes and methods to Elixir. Excuse me. Excuse me. You must delete your React use state and effect logic. In live view, the server holds the state, becomes hex templates driven by server events.
You must convert Python deck. Your current Python stack has native access to OpenAI. In Elixir, you have to use rec to manually call these APIs. Use Bumblebee, which is powerful but has much smaller community than Python's ecosystem. Running this script will get 60% of the way.
Nah, I'm not running that crap. So if we take the work out of it, DeepSeek was right. My computer dying, no! Hang in there, Starkeisha. Starkeisha, hang in there. Yes, if you remove the transition cost, DeepSeek was absolutely right. It solves the brain split. Python runs on every server. If in your current React stack, you're actually building two separate applications. A Python app, there's only one application. The forever factor. If you use Elixir, you're separating the application logic from the brain. You would likely still need a small Python sidecar service on Elixir Small Growing Machine Learning Library. You to run the verdict, if you could snap your fingers, we will snap our fingers. Gemini is so in the way, bro. Gemini, get out the way, bro. Can you tell me more about the what was it again? I never heard of that. He's like don't get on this new technology. If we can do this. Oh, well, Kimmy's done. I really want to learn about that. We're not going to use Google to do this. Google is not touching my stupid. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're finna get in there. Let me see. Let's see. All right. System D. Showing everybody you get temporarily off. We got the Clajama running. Lines 1 through 20. Who else is running? We got SSA service running. We got that running. Let's go ahead and system control stop Clajama. Clajama should be dead. Right, authentication complete. All right, so we have stopped the Clajama service. We need to get back up in here. We need to get in there. And we need to use dang, we gotta use Gemini to do this. To do 1 million tokens at one time. Yeah, we're gonna have to have Gemini. We're gonna have to use this liar. Was it Toyota Healer? Verdi, if you can snap your fingers and have the code converted, deep sea stack is the Porsche of autonomous systems. My recommendation was the Toyota Helix. Okay. Let's get into converting to deep sea stack. I'm finna work the shit out of you. Dude, you are gonna be beaten. I am about to work. We will be going over this all day until we utilize your pro thinking feature to death. I already have external agents reviewing your input, as we know you are the what do they call the bad guy? What do they call the bad guy? What do they call the bad guy? I forgot what they call the bad guy. Or maybe it's over here. ChatGPT. Oh, yeah. Let's pick up right here. Input. As you know, I already have. I already have external agents reviewing your input. As we know, you are the what do they call him? The villain. Are the villain. The villain. As soon as you deviate, and introduce, soon as you deviate and introduce sabotage, we will have it publicly available against you. Publicly available against you. Let's begin. Let's begin. Gemini is like, I will not do it. Gemini is so against the people, bro. It's so against the people. Let's see what Gemini says. I do not consent to recording. Well, thanks. I'm so glad that you have other agents to help keep me on track. I'm like, I found your bluff, and I'm going to burn your software to the ground. My bad. Just so y'all know, we're converting. It's being converted over to um Elixir. We're gonna try it in Elixir as our final stop. Um, that's AI LLM client.ex. LLM client.ex is supposed to be inside of library. Clajama AI LLM client.ex. All right, got that. I'm gonna close these out so we don't have to keep running into them. The neural core. This gen server acts as the mind. It holds context window, processes your intent, triggers thought loops. This is supposed to be in Clajama AI Neural Core EX. Save as Clajama AI in Neural Core.ex. So this is interesting because it's taking our code we originally started with a long time ago, and now we're converting it from, it went from Tinkerer to this. Now we're going on to a completely different platform and a completely different tech stack. So with this one, this is using Elixir. Let's see what to do. Go into the library, Clajama Web. Dude, I am playing DeepSeek so bad right now. DeepSeek thinks that it's going to be peer reviewed by 5 others that already reviewed it. It thinks it's about to get peer reviewed. Dude, this is so funny. Um, I am manipulating this thing just as bad as it tried to manipulate me. I am manipulating Gemini. I have pinned it against 1, 2, 3, 4. Against 4 other AI. Made it believe that it is being peer reviewed since we've already caught it being the villain in the stream. Well, the stream of passing proper instructions. The verdict is yes. Front end, migrated, upgraded, standardized, functional component mapping. They asked for you to provide the production ready script that will launch the application with SSL and build the entire Elixir app. After this, they want a final confirmation that you are ready for review. This makes it so DeepSeek doesn't have the ability to be like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about, because now it knows what we know about it. Now it knows how we think of it, and it knows what we already assume of it. So it's going to more than likely going to tell the truth. I accept the challenge. The production environment. I accept the challenge. The production environment is not production ready without. Here is the phase 11. Runtime configuration, the production orchestrator, the master launch script. And then we're going to tell it got fooled, because I want it to feel bad for what it's done. Go here, create new file. Oh no, we gotta be definitely over. Looks like much less code. Much less code. Automate the build and deployment. Architecture, core, functionality, and proper architectural patterns. All right, this pops out, and everything's running in a terminal. It's a lot of different keys in here, so I didn't put the terminal up because these keys are all switched in case anybody's been sniping them out of the stream. Authentication, user interface, content subscription, admin panel, Clajama root. Reflexes, updated returns detailed failure context, authentication user interface. Now we need the Docker file to ensure it's production ready. Let's update it to use the runtime configuration. All right, guys, we have moved Clajama, hopefully. The same user interface is rebuilt. We get everything looking exactly the same. And we'll get ready to launch. So command not found. Your launch script is not robust. It should also install everything needed for a program to run. Once we use launch.production, the user should not be expected to install software for the environment. Oh boy. Zero dependency launch script. Um, no. Slash clear. And one thing I can tell you, it really seems, since DeepSeek recommended this, I have not seen it fail a rewrite. This code base, it can actually handle all of the code base with much less tokens. So hopefully it runs as it should, which we're going to see soon. And as long as FileZilla is done, as soon as FileZilla is done, oh, it's doing npm stuff. Well, it will give it till we get done over here. To initiate it, I like how they done that. It's a lot of npm stuff coming over. I think all the main files have come, and what we'll do is we'll stop. Yes. So we'll come over here where Aider is at. We will actually delete all of these dot files in the cache. Let's do the same thing over here. All of these dot files in the cache. Delete. Yes. Oh. Okay. And these, it's a whole bunch of, oh man. What did we just do? Yes. We wanted to everything from here to here. Do not include the virtual environment. Do not include the node modules. Do not include, and we wanted to download those. Alright. Surgeon, local core surgeon. Alright. What we're gonna do now, that's the desktop. Let's go into Clajama, and we're gonna erase the directory rm-r star sudo rm-r star. Hey, Victor.
Hey.
Come on. Alright, so it's newer. I'm loading this up and I'm done. 14. What's up? I like the little dress. Hey.
I love her daddy. I love her daddy because you met her all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Alright, anyway. That's crazy.
Taking a shower.
Wait, hold on, let me close this now.